How's it going, guys? Welcome back to yet another episode of the I'm podcast. Today we're going to be talking about how you should visit Cuba in 2024, but it's going to be another update due to changes. You know that Cuba changed a lot, and recently we've been talking with some friends about the economy, the inflation, and everything that is going on when it comes to visiting Cuba. And actually, the story that I want to talk to you about today is that I got a friend of mine who visited Cuba from Poland. And one of the best things that he did, that so many of you do, but so many of you don't, is doing a research about visiting Cuba. This friend of mine, he sent me a PDF with the whole itinerary about visiting Cuba. He said, "Hey, Alex," and this was super easy because he sent me a DM on Instagram. He said, "Hey, Alex, I want to visit Cuba. And I was wondering if you could help me with the itinerary." And I said, "Of course." He sent me the PDF. I checked it out. And I was impressed about how detailed everything was designed. Like Havana, the amount of days, how many people, how much money, where to exchange the money, where to visit, at what time, what are the things that are going to be open, closed. And I was like, "Who you are, man? You're doing my job." And the good thing is that this guy, he was doing the research because he knew that Cuba was a complicated country. When he decided to visit Cuba, he visited Cuba actually with his wife and a couple of friends. And I was crazy about what he was telling me that he was about to do. For example, the first day that we met here in Havana, we went out for dinner, and he told me, "Hey, Alex, what do you think about the itinerary that I show you?" And I was like, I was very impressed, my friend. And he said, "Why?" And I said, "Because what you did was so amazing that so many people, they don't do that. They do prefer visiting a country like Cuba, which is super complicated. They have no idea about it, and they decide to visit Cuba just with the flow." And as you could tell, actually, with that like complex and at the same time easy itinerary, simple, I don't know how to call it, but with that, even like very detailed, he had some issues. For example, he was planning to get the SIM card the first day that he came to Cuba, and I told him that's going to be impossible. You got to go to the Texas. I highly recommend you to do that the next day in the morning, because if you do that during the night, nothing is going to be open. And he said, "That's okay." The first day he went to Texas and there was not SIM card. And he was like, "Wow, this is shocking. What am I going to do now?" And he went to another place, and the lady said, I don't know if that's going to be official or not, but the lady said, "No, this is going to be $35 MLC." And he was like, "No, the price is 1,000 pesos." And I know because of this. And he was showing some information. And at the same time, he was like, "Wow, this is shocking again," because I was like pretty much close to be scammed by a person that, of course, who needed money. But at the same time, it was like, why is Cuba like this, you know? So he waited. At the same time, he was like, "I don't need the SIM card. I'm traveling. I'm okay." And he went to Playa Larga. He went to Vinales, and I think he's traveling to Trinidad now, probably. I don't know. But he was like, "I don't need the SIM card. You know, I think you need it, but it's complicated to get it." And the reason is because when you travel to a country like Cuba, Cuba is like, "I should do this, but I don't know if that's going to be available." And that's the reason why I say, if you want to plan to visit Cuba, guys, of course, you can plan ahead a month, 3 months. But if you could do, I don't know, like a research with the real local people who are traveling to Cuba or living in Cuba, like me, for example, and you say, "Hey, I want to go to Cuba in a week." And we can do like a very specific itinerary or plan about your trip, but based on what is Cuba doing now, not a week ago. For example, I want to talk about the economy. Remember, at the beginning, I was telling you that we were talking about the economy. 2 days ago, let me check. 2 days ago, for example, I'm going to look for the El Toque. El Toque is an application or a website that you can download, and it's going to be telling you in real time what is the current exchange rate in the on the street, basically. So, for example, nowadays, I don't know if you can see here. You're not going to be able to see it there, but I'm going to put it on the window, on the screen. Sorry. So, for example, 2 days ago, the USD was the USD was 355 CUP per dollar. Today is 360. The euro is 368, and the MLC is 288. And actually, this application is really good because you can see the informal or the street exchange rate, and at the same time the real exchange rate, which is basically what would you get if you go to the bank. And also, it gets. I'm not getting paid for this. I'm just telling you this so you can use it if you want to visit Cuba. You can go to the Play Store. And you can go for El Toque. I'm gonna put it right here so you can know exactly how to spell it, and you can see exactly how much it's going to be. For example, you can go from a month and you can see how the inflation was. For example, if we go back in time and we say March 30th, the USD was 335 and today is 365. How crazy is this? No, 360, but it's going to be up. I mean, it shows you like a plus is going up. So when you've traveled to Cuba, the economy is going to be shocking you a lot because of the changes. So people say you don't even need to exchange the money nowadays. You can go to the restaurants and you can pay even with the USD and the euros, which is true. But it depends about if you want to spend a lot of money or not. Because, for example, the other day when we went out for dinner, he paid like half in USD and half in CUP. And the USD, it was like 200, 280, something like that. It was pretty low compared to the current exchange rate. So it's going to be way more than the official, but it's going to be lower than the exchange rate they're going to get if you go to the streets. Other things that I want to talk to you about is medicine, water situation, and I think those are the main ones. I had a list, but I think that we're going to be talking about that in other podcast. Water situation in Cuba is on crisis. And I mean, of course, you can find water, but I gotta be honest. I got a bottle of water and I felt that the taste of the water was top water. And this is crazy because if you want to buy a bottle of water to make sure that you're going to be drinking safe water, at the same time, I don't know how they make it. There are tons of places in Havana where you're going to find bottled water that are going to be fake. So make sure that the place that you go to buy the water from is real. By real, I mean, if you could buy an MLC, which is crazy because you're going to be giving money to the government, but that's going to be the safest way. For example, the water that I got, it was from a private place. And the taste of the water, it was the same that I can get at my place. I'm not saying that it's going to be fake or not. I'm just saying that it could be fake. I didn't feel the I didn't feel the taste of mineral water. You know what I mean? You know. And the other situation about the medicine, the medication, make sure, guys, that you bring whatever it is that you need, and of course the basic, like for example, aspirin. I don't know how do you say ibuprofen or ibuprofen. I think I'm not sure, but make sure that you bring whatever it is that you need if you're sick, and otherwise you're going to be super complicated. in Cuba, there is no medicine. What people are doing right now is they go to WhatsApp groups or Telegram groups and they find the medicine they're looking for. And most of the stuff are going to be pretty generic. It's not going to be like, I need, I don't know, the medicine that I get, for example, for my gout is colchicine plus febusostat. You're not going to find that in Cuba. So forget about that. If you have any specific sickness, you make sure that you bring everything with you. I just wanted to make this like very short podcast episode because I've been lost for a long time. As you can see, I changed everything here. I'm gonna share with you guys in the stories what I've been making here. I moved again, and I wanted to have like more private space. I had another personal issues, some situations, so I've been out of the social media for a while. On this channel, I have other projects or other businesses that have been um, needing my attention. So that was it. If you are planning to, I don't know, visit Cuba in the future, let me know, guys. I'm open to help you. I'm working with I would say, the main agency, one of the best agencies from the United States in Cuba. And we together, we can help you having the best experience here. So if you want to check it out, go to alexr.emprende.com. And right there, you're going to see what do we do, how we do it, the team. And of course, that if you want to get all help about visiting Cuba, we're really open to help you. So thank you. It was a pleasure having you here and see your smiling faces. Ciao, picalo with the picadillo.